Here are the oldest bags in my collection, how much I got them for, and what they're worth now. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do post videos every week. So I got tagged in this video a few times, so obviously we're gonna, share the love. But I actually was looking over my collection, and as some of you know, I haven't been like collecting handbags for all too long. Like, I got my first handbag back in 2018. So it really hasn't been that long, but even putting together the notes for this video and I'm looking at how much these bags are worth now, it's absolutely insane. So let's just jump right into it. So really quickly, I'm gonna talk about my first 3 bags, and I ended up selling them already. So they're already gone, they're already out of my collection. How much I got them for and how much they're worth now, because it's honestly so crazy. So starting with my Louis Vuitton Neverful, as you guys know, this was my first designer handbag. This was the bag that I picked up for myself. I already secured my full-time job. This was like finishing up my summer internship, so secured the full-time job, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna treat myself to my first big girl bag. I got this bag in Europe for 990 euros. I ended up selling the pouch that came with the bag for maybe $250, $300. And then I also got the VAT refund. So that bag really only cost me like maybe $600. I sold it back in April for around, I think $1,690 or $1,600, I think something in that range. And now that bag is worth $2,030. You also just can't like walk in to get this bag anymore either, which is kind of crazy. It's just a Neverful, but that's besides the point. The second bag that I got, this was my like post-graduation, my fiance now, my boyfriend then, he surprised me with a trip to Hawaii as like a graduation gift. So I picked up a bag in Hawaii. I got the Montblanc BB for $2,100 Hawaii pricing, and now this bag is $2,780. I sold that bag, I think September 2020. I really wasn't raging for it. I also heard that they might be discontinuing that bag. I don't know. The last bag I got was the Speedy 25, also in September of 2019, and I got this in Europe for 1990 euros with the VAT refund, all of that. I ended up selling it for $2,600 back in April, and this bag is now worth, this is the new style, but it's still the Empreinte style. It's now selling for $2,700, which is insane. It's crazy, almost 4 years, and yes, they did like redesign it, but I don't think they really upped the price all that much. It's really like an $800, $900 price difference, which is insane. So now moving on to the bags that I actually have in my collection that I still have that are considered my oldest bags now, which is kind of crazy. I picked up the Palm Springs Mini June of 2020. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I was like, oh, COVID should be over soon. Like, we should be able to resume normal life. And I feel like this was the perfect bag to get. I think at the time I was like 22. So this was a great 22-year-old bag. And I remember making a comment. I was like, I don't really know if I see myself using this at 25. And now that I've just turned 26, I'm like, honestly, I don't really reach for this. But I can't like bring myself to get rid of it. So here it is. I got this bag for $19.90 a little over 3 years ago, and now this bag is $2,400, which is kind of crazy. I did also get the new version of this, so this isn't even like the older version. This has the exposed zipper and everything, and the price has gone up $400 in 3 years. The second oldest bag in my handbag collection is from October 2020. This is the Louis Vuitton Neo. I got this in October of 2020. So almost 3 years now, and I think I can still count how many times I've used this bag, maybe 6. I think I anticipated getting this bag and then maybe like down the road I wouldn't use the Neverful anymore. I also felt like during COVID a lot of people were doing picnics. Like, you would sit outside, you would like bring your food from like to go and just like sit outside and hang outside, like social distancing, like all of that. And with that in mind, I was like, yes, I should get a larger bucket bag and have a picnic bag. And I never really brought this out. I think I did use it for picnics maybe twice, but this bag I remember getting for around $16.50 not even 3 years ago, and now this bag is $20.30, so the same price as the Neverful. Personally, I mean, this bag doesn't fit a laptop or anything, but personally I feel like I would prefer this bag over the Neverful if you're looking for a monogram bag because of the black treated leather. You don't have to worry about the vachetta, you know, all of that. Moving on to my third oldest bag, which is from January 2021. So really like not that long ago. Like I think in my head, I still feel like we're still in like 2021, 2022. But this is the Bavin wallet on chain. I picked this up for $16.50. And then I believe now it's like $19.60. It's just like just shy under $2,000. So basically in like 2 years, this bag has gone up a couple $100, which is kind of on par with all the other Louis Vuitton bags that I got. You can tell when I first started collecting handbags, which I didn't even think was a collection at that point, I was really only into Louis Vuitton. Like I only bought Louis Vuitton bags, and this was the bag that I was like, I think this is a little bit different. We're gonna steer a little bit clear from all the monogram. We're kind of over the monogram now. Let's get into Empreinte. And I really like this bag. This is the Chanel Mini. I actually picked this up through a reseller back in June of 2021. So this is at the point when like TikTok, social media, this was all like kind of in full swing. I was really pushing content consistently. I think this is around the same time that I started YouTube as well. So it was somewhat easier for me to justify buying these handbags with the few brand deals that I was getting. And I knew I always wanted a Chanel Mini. I knew this was my first Chanel bag, and this was something that I was like, hey, once I get this Mini, I really don't feel like I want a classic flap. I feel like this scratches the itch for that. I got this for $4,500. It was a little bit more than retail at the time. I believe retail at the time was like $4,000 or $4,250. And I was on the wait list for probably like 4 or 5 months for the Mini, and I never got it. And it was like, at that point, I was like, you know what? Like, screw it. I'm just gonna go through a reseller. I found a really good price for this. It was $4,500 at the time. I believe retail now is also $4,500. So like, it didn't go up, but I do feel like if I were to sell this to like Fashion File or like any of the other resellers, I am seeing that the Mini now goes for around $5,200 on the resale market. It's still really, really difficult to find. I think some of the other like colors, like maybe less popular colors, are a little bit easier to find. But I have no regrets, honestly, because I got the bag when I wanted to get it in the combo that I wanted, and I didn't have to like really wait for it. I mean, I guess I waited for like the right bag to come, but I really like don't have any regrets. Moving on to the Gucci Dionysus, you know, however you pronounce it. This is the new small at the time. This was, they still have it. I think they still have the small, they call it the small size, but I think it's now like considered the medium. The new small, you know, it's because it has these like crystals here. I would say it's about very similar size to the Chanel medium classic flap, maybe the small. And I had my friend pick this up in Hawaii. It was around July or August 2021 when it was rumored that Gucci was reducing their Hawaii discount. They used to be 20 to 25% off the mainland pricing. Now it's reduced to 10. And it was around the time that rumor started, and I was planning to go to Hawaii like mid-August of 2021 anyways. And so I had her pick up this bag for me a couple weeks early. And I got this bag after I paid her. I think I paid her $1,600 for this bag. And now this bag is just shy of $3,000. So 2 years later, just about 2 years later, this bag has gone up like what? Over $1,000, which is insane. I personally don't know that I would pay $3,000 for this bag. This bag honestly is the next bag on the chopping block, just because I really don't use this. I feel like I thought I was going to use this more during fall and winter. Fall and winter rolled around, did not use it, so I think it's probably time for her to go. I do really like the look of this bag, which is why I used to have the Super Mini, and then I sold the Super Mini, but on that same trip to Hawaii, I unexpectedly picked up the Dior book tote. I really wasn't going to get this, frankly. I remember bagging on this bag. I remember making TikToks about how it's not worth the money and how it's overpriced, and how only you see influencers with this bag and all of this stuff, and here it is. I did, however, somehow convince myself that I needed it because it was such a good deal. This was when the Dior store used to be attached to the tax-free mall in Waikiki. The tax-free mall, I believe, is now closed, so Dior had to move, but it was just around the time that they were like, hey, we're probably moving our Dior store out of the tax-free mall. It's not gonna be tax-free much longer. And when I picked this up, it was $2,800. Like, I walked out of that store paying $2,800. It wasn't that much cheaper in Europe, which I thought was, which is like kind of how I justified it. I was like, oh, well, maybe if I still like it in Europe, then I'll get it in Europe. But the price difference really wasn't all too much, which is why I picked it up when I did. Now, this bag is, now it's 2023, so now this bag, like, 2 years old. This bag is now $33.50. So it hasn't gone up all too much in terms of like pricing, but I mean, I'm glad I picked it up when I did. I think if I were to resell this, I could definitely make my money back because I paid such a low price for it at the time, lower price for it at the time. So I really don't have too many regrets. Okay, and then last but not least, this is the Prada Crystal Re-Edition. I remember picking this up and like rewarding myself November of 2021. I saw Sabrina with this in New York, July of 2021, and she was like, I got this through Harrods, I had a sales associate, just hit him up, like, you can get the Europe pricing, whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna hold off until I get my new job, and we somehow negotiated a signing bonus for that job, so here this bag is. I waited 6 months to get this bag though. Actually, I probably wanted this for like 8 or 9 months, and I waited because I was like, this is probably gonna be a really trendy bag. I don't know that I really want it. And this is probably one of my most used bags. I love, love, love this bag. I love how unique this is. I got this for 1,100 British pounds after the VAT refund. At the time, they still did it. I don't think they do it anymore. Then I did have to pay a import tax coming in, and that was around $150. So in total, I probably paid just under $1,500 for this bag. Now this bag is $2,700. So I haven't even been at this job. I'm still at this current job when I got rewarded myself for this bag. Not even 2 years, and this bag has almost doubled in the price that I paid for it, which is insane. I think it's easier for me to justify now, like seeing how much the price has gone up, seeing how much it costs on the resale value, all of this stuff. God forbid I don't want this bag anymore, I don't reach for this bag, which tends to happen. It's not like I have the intention of buying bags just to resell them later, but I want to be able to enjoy my bags and then know that I'm not losing that much value if and when I decide to resell them. So this has probably been one of the best like investments compared to everything else. But yeah, this is the 7th oldest bag. A lot of the earlier bags that I've had in like 2018, early 2019, I ended up selling now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be sure to tag some friends in the description box below. Let me know in the comments, what are your oldest bags, how much you got them for, how much they're worth now. It's crazy to even go and look to see how much things are worth now. But I'll leave another video for you guys here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!